best experienced with headphones. Fields of wheat bent in the wind like tired soldiers, and the earth gave no hint of what was about to surface from its silence. Woolpit, a humble place in the heart of Suffolk, was no stage for miracles. And yet, on a day buried deep in the 12th century, the soil opened its secret, and history caught its breath. The bells had not rung. No storm heralded it. The people came as they always did, to work, to toil, to bend backs beneath the sun. But that morning, in the edges of the fields near the wolf pits that gave the village its name, the first whispers began. A child had been seen. No, two children. Not from the village, not from anywhere known. They were standing in the shadows of the pit, staring out with eyes wide and hollow, as if the world before them was not their own. Their hair was fair, their features human, but their skin green, a pallor not of sickness nor paint, but something more impossible. Their clothes were unlike any Woolpit had ever seen, woven in strange patterns, dyed in colors that glimmered faintly even in the dim light. The villagers gasped. Some crossed themselves. Others muttered of witchcraft, of demons, of fairies come to snatch souls. The children did not speak English, nor Latin, nor any tongue known. Their words fell like water spilling backward, unintelligible, alien. When offered food, they recoiled from bread and meat, turning instead to beans pulled raw from their pods, devouring them as if nothing else could sustain them. This was no ordinary discovery. It was a key. For in their green faces, the villagers saw not only strangeness, but revelation. Proof that the world beyond their fields was deeper, darker, more infinite than church sermons had dared to admit. Were they spirits? Were they signs? Or were they refugees of a kingdom unseen? But awe births conflict. Wonder breeds rivalry. Some argued the children were omens of plague, that their greenness was a sickness of the flesh, a warning of famine or divine wrath. Others insisted they were fae-born, slipped from the hollow hills where twilight lingers forever. A few whispered darker things, that they were demons clothed in innocence, sent to lure Christians astray. The debate split the village, yet the children endured, fragile, trembling, silent, but alive. The boy weakened, fading as though his roots had been cut. Within days, his green skin paled to ash, his breath thinned, and he was gone, buried in earth foreign to him in a world not his own. But the girl survived. Slowly, her green faded, though never fully. She learned the language of the villagers, word by hesitant word, and when at last her voice broke through the barrier, she told her story. She said she came from a land without sun, a twilight world, lit not by day, but by a green half-light that cast no shadow. There, she and her brother had tended flocks, heard the bells of a distant land across a river too wide to cross. One day, chasing that sound, they entered a cave, following its winding darkness until a sudden light blinded them. And when they stumbled out, they were here, in Woolpit, among strangers. A cave, a river, a twilight land. It was a tale impossible to verify, yet impossible to forget. And so the story spread. Across England, then across Europe, across centuries. Chroniclers like Ralph of Coggeshall and William of Newburgh recorded it, each shaping the tale to fit their own questions, their own fears. Was it allegory? Was it proof of other worlds? Was it perhaps a tale of children lost and found, painted green by malnutrition and turned miraculous in the retelling? The rivalry deepened. Priests thundered that it was a sign of God's unknowable kingdom. Skeptics muttered of iron poisoning, of green sickness in blood. Folklorists claimed faerie lineage, that the children were changelings, abandoned by their kind. Centuries later, scientists would speak of chlorosis, of dietary deficiency, of linguistic isolation turned legend. Each voice claimed the story. Each shaped it like clay. But the tale has siblings. Across Europe, whispers of green-skinned beings echo faintly. In Spain, the legend of green children in banjos recalls two mysterious figures who appeared much the same. In Ireland, tales of fairies slipping their offspring into human homes speak of pallid infants, their colors strange, their appetites unnatural. To the medieval mind, the world was porous. Heaven and hell, fairy and earth, they brushed against one another like fabric worn thin. And in that thinning, Woolpit's children emerged. The girl lived on, her life becoming stranger still. Baptized, married, absorbed into Woolpit, she was said to be very wanton and impudent. Her greenness faded with the years, but the memory of it clung to her like a shadow that no daylight could burn away. In her, myth and flesh fused into one enduring paradox. And so the tale endured. The green children of Woolpit became more than a village rumor. They became a mirror for every era that touched them. To medieval minds, they were proof of fairies, angels, or demons. To Enlightenment scholars, they were evidence to be dissected, rationalized, contained. To Victorians, they were fodder for tales of fantasy, woven into stories of hidden worlds. To modern readers, they remain one of England's strangest historical mysteries, a place where folklore and geography entwine. But controversy never loosens its grip. Were they sick? Were they lost Flemish children, speaking a dialect mistaken for nonsense, their skin tinted by disease? Or were they truly emissaries from another world, a twilight kingdom beneath our feet? Each explanation falters in the light. Each leaves gaps wide as the pits from which the children first emerged. And so the debate endures. Rival claims, disputes without resolution. Yet beyond all doubt, the story resonates. It lingers in novels, in plays, in songs. It echoes in modern tales of alien encounters, of dimensional slips, of lives lived between worlds. It stirs whenever a traveler vanishes into the earth, whenever strange lights flicker where no light should be. Woolpit itself has become a pilgrimage. Visitors walk the fields where wolf pits once yawned. They whisper into the earth, hoping the soil remembers. And in quiet moments, some swear they hear the faintest laughter of children, one fading, one enduring, drifting on the wind. And the echoes grow stranger still. In the age of space and science fiction, some claim the children were not fae, but extraterrestrial. That their green was not sickness, but adaptation. That their twilight land was not under England, but under another sun. Parallel worlds, alien origins, slips in space-time, all theories that bend the story into modern myth. For is there not something universal in the tale? The idea of children lost between worlds, of innocence wandering where reason cannot follow. The Woolpit children are every exile, every refugee, every soul cast adrift between belonging and banishment. They embody not just folklore, but the human ache to know where we come from and whether we are ever truly home. The green children endure because they are not simply children. They are the embodiment of our need to believe there is more. more than our mapped lands, more than our measured science, more than the boundaries we draw to keep the strange at bay. They are a key, still turning, a voice, still speaking, a beginning, still unfolding.